Welcome back, everybody, to the final game of the first round of UKDota.net's King of the Mid Tournament. People thought it'd be a lot of hassle for me to cast every game, but so far I've enjoyed every single one of them. All 15 games we've seen over the last 2 days have been pretty damn amazing, and we're going to go into the final one. If we have a look at the bracket, I'm just going to go over today's results real quick. So, spoiler alert, if you are watching this one on YouTube, you might want to check out the other games first, because Abuse defeated Yamakin in the first game of today. Kamehameha took out Hamed. Farah took out 142, who didn't actually show up, so it was played by somebody else. World took out Mesmerize. Half Poo beat Atomic. Watson's Water beat Lewis. Not Panda, that's wrong. I need to change it. And finally, Honk, Donk, Sonk. I don't know. He beat Samface. So in the final game of today, we have Goshawk from Team eNigma. He's going to be playing against Infernokoi. And now we have a look at the matchups for this one. So Temper Assassin versus Queen of Pain is one of them. It's still not a matchup that I've seen, which I'm really interested in actually seeing this one. This obviously can go either way. I don't really think that TA can kill Queen of Pain though. But I don't think Queen of Pain can kill TA at the same time. So it's going to be more of a case of pushing or catching the opponent off guard. Tiny versus Puck's an interesting one. If Puck can play it correctly, he can phase shift everything that Tiny does. But one mistake, Tiny will take advantage of that lane, as well as being very vulnerable to Puck's burst. But for this game, we see the vetoes coming out. Inferno vetoing out the Temper Assassin versus Queen of Pain. Goshawk didn't want to play the Tiny versus Puck. And Necrolite needs no introduction. He introduces himself. That's going to be played versus the Lion in this final matchup of the first round. And then we will see what games we have coming up tomorrow. But then we're going to switch ourselves into the game. And we see Infernokoi is going to be playing on the Lion on the Radiant side. I'm going to just remind everyone, check couriers, because you have to check those couriers. You want them to be able to work. We know that Goshawk is. It's running down bottom already. And Goshawk has gone for a pretty much heavy regen build combined with the circlet. So he's going to have a little bit more last hitting potential. Although his base damage is really low. 51. So Inferno will buy himself another courier. That wicked little Greevel. And then what's he going to buy in terms of items? This is an interesting matchup as well. People say this is pretty imbalanced in terms of the way a Lion can go. But it's not always a case of, you know, who can kill the other person. If Goshawk plays this correctly, builds correctly, he should never die. And if he can get those levels as well, Death Pulse combined with the Reaper's Scythe should be enough to bring Inferno down. Otherwise, he's just going to use that Death Pulse to get last hits on creeps. Use the Sadist as well to bring himself up some regen. And if he eventually gets the levels up, he's going to have Heartstopper Aura as well, which is going to make it extremely difficult for Inferno to lane. And then he should be able to just push the towers by War of Resilience, basically, is the way that Goshawk should be looking at this one. But who knows, he might just go full on aggressive and buy a Dagon and try and get that early kill. But then he's going to get an early kill with a Dagon because it's going to take him a long time to buy that one. So Inferno now. He's going to start his creep block. He's going to let the range creep through, but not intentionally, obviously. And then we're going to see Goshawk's block attempt. He's also going to let it creep through, but this time it's going to be the melee. So the lane should push back towards Inferno's tower, which he's really going to enjoy. But in fact, Goshawk did get a little bit of a better block going. So he actually won because the melee creep gets there first. Wow. Unfortunate for him. And then we see the rune scared was done by Goshawk. He's going to know the rune's not bottom, so whenever he gets a chance, if Inferno doesn't do so, he can go and get a top rune. As far as base damage goes, we have 51 on Goshawk, but 48 on Lion, so both heroes really going to have a hard time at last hitting this early. And it's questionable how Lion's exactly going to play this lane, because there's multiple ways he could do it. Hex is a very expensive skill, and look, there's already the Death Pulse coming out from Goshawk, so heavy harassment there. But if he decides to level up Hex, it's a 200 mana disable. Bear in mind, it is a 4-second Hex, so it's going to be strong as anything. But the mana drain could be the interesting point. Although Goshawk can regen mana using Sadist. So all he needs is last hits or denies, and he will get himself some mana regen. But if Inferno decides to go for the mana drain build, this could turn interesting. In fact, no points in stats yet. He's just holding on to his level 2. This point is Inferno, where we do see Sadist picked up by Inferno. So, sorry, Goshawk. So he's going to go for a pretty much standard build, and he's going to bring out his first bracer of the game, is Goshawk. So he wants to have that survivability. And there we go. We're going to see mana drain. So I'm expecting to see Earth Spikes into mana drain coming out from Inferno. He's looking to take this game. Goshawk, level 3, going to get himself one up in Death Pulse as well. Remember, Death Pulse is a very mana intensive skill as well. But this is why his abilities work so well together. Combining that with Sadist just gives him that health regen as well as mana regen. And gives Goshawk so much lane presence and ability to survive here. And every time he can, he's just going to throw a Death Pulse on top of Inferno. Inferno, it's going to really hurt him as well. But there's a brace coming out from Goshawk, so he's now got 700 HP. He's looking to try and survive. 130 more HP than Goshawk. Inferno has. Why am I getting these two mixed up? I don't know. And why are the creeps individually going towards the opposition's tower? I also don't know. But Goshawk going to get a couple of last hits under there. But how are we looking for last hits so far? So it's 9 for 3 coming out from Goshawk. Whereas Inferno, 7 for 2, so pretty close game at the moment. Magic Stick coming out from Inferno, and I like this choice as well. It's going to give him that extra little bit of burst heal that he needs if this Death Pulse is chasing him. And I imagine that Goshawk, with the Death Pulse, should be spamming it quite a lot, providing he can get the last hits from Sadis to do so. And there we go. There's the Death Pulse. Sorry, the Death Pulse. Yes, the Death Pulse as well as the Earth Spike. Not going to see a mana drain coming out from Inferno yet. And as far as his 4th skill point goes, he's holding on to... Nope, never mind. He did go for mana drain. So we're seeing 2-0-2 coming in from both players here with their set skill builds. And Inferno just wants to drain all of Goshawk's mana. And it's an interesting choice as well. Not going to go for that 1 point in Hex, which might give him enough disable to get those few right clicks in to use that Finger of Death when he eventually levels it up. But again, Finger of Death is such an expensive skill, so it's going to cost 200 mana for that one. 120 for Earth Spike. 125 Hex would be as well. Which, 625 mana I believe the total is now. No, 425 mana, I can't count. But he does have enough if it's providing that Inferno's full mana to actually use his full combo if he leaves Hex at level 1. But Earth Spike is going to level up as well, so yeah, you know. Magic Wand coming out from Goshawk now. So every time his Earth Spike gets thrown out by Inferno, oh, and there's the mana drain. In fact, Goshawk just staying in range of this one. It's not going to get too much because of the last hit potential that he has, but mana drain really weak at this point in the game. 40 mana per second. He really wants to get out 120 mana per second. And then if he gets to use mana drain for 4 seconds of Goshawk, it's basically his entire mana pool just gone. Down the drain, if you will. Oh, bad puns everywhere. Inferno going to go ahead and use his salve now. Still not buying anything yet. He might be looking to get something like a straight arcane booster to get the mana boots and have the mana pool to use these spells a bit later on when he gets the levels that he needs. But there's the Earth Spike coming out once again. Going to get the last hit as well, so Inferno doing a great job of keeping the harassment down on Goshawk, but with this Death Pulse, it's really hard for Inferno to burst the guy. 18 for 5 on Goshawk's last hit and denies. 12 for 2 going away with Inferno. 13 for 2 now even. But the question is, how's this going to progress? Both players playing it fairly aggressively, but passively at the same time. I know it doesn't really make sense, but it all depends on levels this game, and I think this game is really going to erupt once both of these players hit level 6. Because we do have the Reaper's Scythe as well as the Finger of Death. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Both players going to remain trying to get as many last hits and denies as possible. It's even more important for Goshawk just because of the Sadist. If he's used even a slight bit of mana, he wants to get last hits just to restore that one. And Earth Spike not actually going to hit on Goshawk there. And he really wanted to get that one to use the mana drain. Choosing not to mana drain a creep, but Bottle going to come out for Lion. So he was holding on to gold. I imagine he's going to be Boots as well. And he's going to actually find the Invis Rune's top if he heads up there, which he is going to do. Yep, he's going to head there now. And Goshawk, meanwhile, Courier just brought out his hood. So immediately getting health, getting spell resistance. He does not want to die to the Lion here. In fact, both of them are level 6 now. So this is where the lane could really start to erupt. Inferno's got to be careful. He needs to check Goshawk's inventory. Know that there's a cloak here. It's going to be really hard for him to bring him down, especially with only level 3 Earth Spike right now. He's not going to leech enough experience in lane to get level 7. In fact, he just brought his Bottle in as well. So he does have enough burst for his combo right now. Enough mana burst, that is. And he's looking for the right time to do it. He will pop the Earth Spike on top of Goshawk. Not going to follow up though. Sorry, he didn't have enough mana for the Finger of Death. I miscalculated that one myself. But you can see Goshawk took barely any damage, and every time he gets the last hit, it's just a bit more regen for him. And then Inferno is going to walk up to Goshawk, but no aggression coming away. Either player really. Just another Death Pulse. That's every time we can now. And there's another Earth Spike. We're going to see the mana drain perhaps. Reaper's Scythe for a stun, so Goshawk got a little bit afraid, and there's the first Finger of Death coming out from Inferno. Not quite enough burst. But you can see that Goshawk got very afraid of Inferno's advance there in the lane. So Goshawk doing a very defensive Reaper's Scythe. But that's going to be back on cooldown in nearly half the time. Inferno's ulti is going to come back up as well. Both players using their ultimates. And Goshawk once again going to get spiked up there. Inferno out of mana and in the bottle charges. He's got to find the DD rune top though as he is checking for that one. Goshawk at the moment, he has another bracer flying in, so really does not want to die here. He's going to check the bottom rune. Unfortunately, he's not going to be lucky enough as we do see this DD coming out from Inferno. And this is kind of what he needs to win the lane. A DD rune right now. So you can see we've got nearly 1,000 HP on up on Goshawk, as well as giving himself a 130 heal whenever he basically pleases, as it's on a 5-second cooldown now.
Stop dead.
I apologise for that slight little burp. But yeah, Goshawk just... I'm not sure who's going to win this game now. People were saying it's imbalanced in the way of Lion, but... Hey, Goshawk got afraid, and Lion could have actually got a kill there. But unfortunately, not quite enough burst. That bracer, as well as the cloak coming out from Goshawk, definitely saving his life. Building it correctly, as I mentioned in the pre-game, if Goshawk builds correctly, he can win this matchup. It's the same with Inferno. Goshawk's got the pushing potential, but Inferno definitely has the killing potential, but he just needs more levels to make it happen. And there comes another mana drain going to come out, and a nice surf spike as well before Goshawk can throw the death pulse down. So Magic's still a little bit of mana. Also will use the stick charges, but now he's going to get a death pulse to the face, and look at that damage, 206 coming out for Inferno. And as I've already mentioned, Goshawk can spam these. One more death pulse combined with the Reaper's Scythe, if he has the mana, which he does actually, yeah. And he could potentially kill off Inferno here. Reaper's Scythe, don't forget, it does 0.4 damage per single HP that Inferno is missing. So basically times his current HP by 0.4, and that's how much damage that Necro is going to be able to do. Inferno going to gamble top rune, he's going to get himself a haste, and this could be dangerous for Goshawk. Goshawk has just used his death pulse, but he does have enough mana for his combo once more. And Inferno running in with a haste rune, but he's just going to use it to try and last it on the tail once more. But the haste rune he can get back just in time. So smartly lasting on the tower here, Inferno. But now Goshawk, he's got himself his boots flown in. Or walked in, as the courier is upgraded. And Lion going for power treads instead. And he's trying to mana drain whenever he gets a chance. It's 60 mana per second, which is a lot for Goshawk to lose, but at the same time, that sadist. Gonna give him more mana regen. And I kind of feel like this is a little bit of a stalemate matchup, as I don't think either heroes can kill each other now. But if we get level 11 up on Lion, the game just completely changes. He's going to give himself 725 damage on that ultimate, which, considering the fact that it's 1,000 HP up on Goshawk, that's a hell of a lot. He does have 36% magical reduction now. I need a drink of water again. So power treads up now on Inferno. It's going to put him straight into Intel. Wants the extra right click damage. Doesn't really feel like he needs the strength treads, as well, it's a little bit risky not to have strength treads versus the Necrolite. So Necrolite has a bit of killing potential as well, but he wants that extra mana and he wants that extra right click. 77 damage for him compared to the 78 coming out from Goshawk, so it's very close in terms of right click. And here's some aggression coming out from Goshawk. Now he's going to use the first death pulse. Ultimate coming very early, which means he's not going to be able to get the kill with that one. If that's another death pulse he's going to try and right click as well. And Inferno's going to run himself away. One more right click will do the job by Goshawk, but another spike coming out, and Goshawk actually turned around at the wrong moment. Inferno will survive. He'll use his stick charges. He did actually switch himself to strength treads as well to survive. Now he's going to be able to run himself back to base, but an advantage coming away at Goshawk now in terms of levels, as he's going to get free time in this lane, and power treads also coming out for him, to make himself even more tanky. But nice little defense coming out from Inferno, manages to survive. He's got 500 gold, going to buy himself a TP now, I imagine. Yeah, he does do so. Not going to buy anything else in Inferno. Sorry, Goshawk doesn't have a bottle, but he's going to go ahead and pick himself up a DD rune, and this is where the push starts to begin by Goshawk. You can see that's only 100 damage really done to the Dire Tower, whereas it's nearly 300 coming away of the Radiant Tower. And there's a power juice, power boots, power treads. For Goshawks.
Spoiler.
Now wards brought in by Inferno as well. Did actually pick those up while he was back in base. So he wants to keep an eye on Goshawk, wants to know how aggressive he's been, especially during his first night time. And there's a mana drain. Look at Goshawk's mana just collapse. And that's the power of a level 4 mana drain. It's 120 mana per second that Goshawk will lose. And it means that currently he doesn't have enough mana for his combo, and this is why Goshawk needs last hits. But now the lane's gonna, I believe, slightly go. Look at that again, just mana drain him. Can't afford death pulse for the time being. Will of course get those Sadist last hits, which gives him 10 mana regen per second. Putting himself on 12.3 now as he stacks up those Sadists. And Now Inferno's going to ward himself up as well. Going to see the high ground, give himself vision of the runes. Goshawk doesn't actually hit with the death pulse there. Now Inferno, I imagine he will get a level in Hex next level, as he does have those treads. And the rune's actually going to spawn bottom. It's going to be a haste. And the person who wants this one is Goshawk, and he will get it as well. Lion not going to contest for this rune. And the haste rune on Goshawk could be deadly for Inferno. In fact, Inferno is coming down to challenge this one. Daytime has hit again. And Goshawk's Inferno wisely sees the fact that Goshawk has picked up this haste rune. And Goshawk now, with that death pulse, he has to obviously be in melee range pretty much to use it. I won't be surprised if he dives under the tower for this one, but he's got to be careful at the same time, because that Finger of Death, combined with the damage that the tower is going to do, Goshawk running forward, not going to actually hit that death pulse there. But there's a mana drain again, Goshawk losing all his mana once more. But Goshawk's about half a level ahead right now. Both players just really struggling to get each other, but Inferno's going to be an absolute pain and just keep on mana draining Goshawk. It's back off cooldown already. It's only a 5-second cooldown at rank 4, which is pretty huge for him. There's a nerf spike coming out as well. Mana drain once more to follow. Goshawk using the death pulse is going to give him 10 mana regen per second. You can't really see how many numbers you've got on this side. It's because of the colour of the ability. Yeah, 10 mana regen per second for every creeper kills, and that lasts for 6 seconds, so basically every last hit gives him 60 mana regen. This is a lot. Spike up by Inferno. Not going to hit on top of Goshawk, but he will get him some more last hits. 75 for 17 going away with Goshawk right now. We're 52 for 8 coming away with Inferno. So Goshawk definitely winning on gold right now. If we have a quick look at our net worth graph, it's only about 700 difference, but Inferno obviously did buy those wards as well, so that will make a difference. In fact, Goshawk had something on the courier, so he's actually 1200 ahead. He's picked up his bottle now. We're a little bit late for the bottle, but he's realising that this mana drain is becoming an absolute pain. And there we go, Earth Spike as well as Death Force coming out from players. We do see that Goshawk decided not to get the Heartstopper over. He will go ahead and get the stat points. And once again, the mana drain coming out. Goshawk's really getting annoyed by this one. We'll check the rune top. It's actually going to spawn bottom. It's going to be a regeneration room, and Inferno's chasing him for this one. Both players running along their cliffs. Inferno, I believe, is slightly faster. No, they're both on the same movement speed, and who can stun who first? Ulti coming out from Goshawk, but the denial of the rune coming out from Inferno. Nice Hex coming out as well, and Goshawk has no mana to follow up now. He's going to carry on using the bottles. Inferno could actually bait this out and try to get a kill. No mana drain going to come out though, and Goshawk just doesn't have enough mana. 15 stick charges though to try and get himself a kill. In fact, Goshawk's going to come very aggressively behind the tower here. But it was a nice play from Goshawk using the ulti to try and stall off Lion, but he did actually manage to throw the deny right click coming out straight away. Managed to get rid of that rune off the field. Not giving Goshawk those refresh bottle charges, and there's more mana drain action. And Goshawk walks in to try and use Death Pulse. He will use his stick charges to get it off and give him some more mana regen. Oh dear. Inferno. Gonna throw out the Earth Spike as well. It is turning out to be a little bit of a stalemate matchup, but at the moment Goshawk is managing to push the tower a little bit more effectively. And Inferno really started to struggle. He needs to start wising up on his items a little bit more. Maybe get that Veil of Discord for the Veil Finger. But as it stands, Goshawk also is feeling quite a bit rich at the moment. He's level 11 now, so we'll get that second point up in Reaper's Scythe.
The Radiant should
Gives
really
him
do something about
0.6
that
damage
tower.
per HP missing. So times whatever his Inferno's current HP is, and you know, times the 1.6.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. That's not gonna hold.
And you can see 330 damage health now left on his tower. Inferno's going to pick himself up a staff of wizardry. He's going to give him more right kick power, and again he's going to continue that mana drain harassment. Now another Death Pulse as well as an Earth Spike. But Goshawk is so tanky now, 1300 HP with those Strength Treads, the Cloak and Double Bracer. Going to gamble the rune top, again not going to find it. It's going to be a DD rune in bottom lane. And Goshawk's going to get himself one of those, fill his bottle back up. Inferno takes a lot of damage from the creeps, actually. You can see that Inferno currently has 834 HP compared to the 1300 of Goshawk, so Goshawk definitely the harder target to take down in this fight. We could see Inferno, maybe he's going over towards a dagger, maybe he's going towards a Force Staff. I doubt it's going to be anything else really. Although an Aghanims is a possibility, but it's going to take him a long while to get there. And Goshawk with a double damage rune. He gets spiked up by Inferno, but not a lot either player can really do right now. fact, Necronomicon? I'm a little bit surprised by this choice, but it looks like he's going to build the Necronomicon.
What ails you?
Get that extra mana burn going from the range creep. Inferno just doesn't have the damage to rip through Goshawk's health right now. 5 armor, 1300 HP. The Hood of Defiance is now complete, so the regen is crazy coming out from Goshawk. So 8 extra regen, 30% spell resistance, so now it's really hard for Inferno to kill Goshawk. He has to get him out of this squad essentially. Or else he's just not doing it. Goshawk's got to win the battle of attrition in this one. The later this one gets, the more it goes towards Goshawk's favour. Inferno's starting to run out of time. He does get the level 2 Finger of Death, but by not putting any aggression down on Goshawk, he really can't do much in this lane anymore. And this could be one that we see going towards the very late game now. Goshawk again with a Death Pulse spam. And Inferno again with the Mana Drain spam. So Goshawk, he has got a decent amount of health flow, as well as mana at the moment. And you can see with those Sadie's charges, he just brings himself up very quickly. And more aggression on the tower now. Inferno might have to give this one up. He will throw an Earth Spike on top of the creeps to pull the aggro. But Goshawk, he is right-clicking the tower, tries to deny.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Doesn't
As
quite get
all
it.
towers someday must.
But that's one tower going away of Goshawk now. Going to gamble the rune top, going to find himself a regen. He'll be happy with that one. And Inferno might have to walk back to base soon. He's a little bit low on HP, and with Goshawk getting that regen rune, he really can't challenge at the moment. If only it was something like a haste though. But again, the later this game gets, the more it goes in Goshawk's favour, and he's took one tower, and he's starting to push onto the second one, just with a creep wave too. Goshawk, he's going to wait patiently. He wants to see where Lion is, and also he's bringing the courier out. He's going to get himself the drums of endurance, so even more health, even more mana coming away at Goshawk, as well as some more right click potential. It's going to mean that he's incredibly difficult to bring down. Goshawk just full on tanking up, and that's Necrolight's nature. And Lion just continues to fire his right clicks, but you can see he's got 22 health regen with 3 stacks to Sadist. 9.9 health regen without any Sadist stacks basically. And with those drum charges now, he's got even more movement speed. Which means that Inferno might not be able to get away anymore. Goshawk might be attempting to get some kills soon. 362 movement speed up on the Necrolights, whereas we see 345 going away of Lion. And now the Heartstopper Aura level has started to come out. And you can see the range on this Heartstopper Aura. Any time that Inferno comes within this range, he starts to lose. How much health is it a second again? It's 0.6% of his max HP per second. You can see it falling now. He's battling it with his own regen, but his health just slowly ticking down. And it's something that you really can't afford to sit against. Doesn't matter what your health is, because it's flat reduction. 0.6% of your HP. Every time you with, I think that's 1200 range roughly. So basically whenever Inferno gets into experience range, he's going to start losing his health. And again, this is Inferno. Goshawk just taking it later. The later he takes it, the more it's in his favour. And once again, Goshawk's going to jet top rune, and once again he's going to be bottom. Illusion this time. Doesn't really need to get the illusion rune now, Goshawk, because he can start putting aggression on just using that regen. In fact, he's not going to walk bottom and try and find it. He's just going to carry on taking a creep wave. He wants to put as much pressure on the terror as possible. He's going to pop the regen rune. I'm guessing use one more Death Pulse before the regen rune. In fact, the regen rune didn't run out. He's just got those level in Sadist. He's going to start to push on Inferno's tower once again. Tower's going to take his first points of damage now. You can see with those drums, Goshawk has a lot of attack speed as well coming out, which is really going to benefit him. And Inferno must be thinking to himself now, what can I do to take down this Necrolight? He can afford his level 1 Necro book if that's what he's really choosing to go for, and try and get some counter push going. But he's currently thinking about it. In fact, he will do so. Necro book level 1 now purchased up by Inferno. And now Goshawk has got himself the illusion rune. Not going to get a Death Pulse hit there. Inferno getting more last hits using the Earth Spike. We can see the difference in last hits as well now. 126 with 24 going away. Goshawk really using Death Pulse effectively now, compared to 92 of 14 of Lion, so he's got the advantage in gold. And there's a mana drain coming out again, but you can see he's got 5 stacks of Sadist, 42 mana regen per second right now. And Goshawk pops the illusion rune. He's going to use this one to try and push. In fact, he might even try for a kill here. A cheeky kill on Inferno. He's going to go ahead and try and kill the creep wave off his Goshawk. And there's the... I'm a little bit surprised, but the Reaper Scythe did come out there.
Really do something about that middle tower.
So that's not on cooldown, but he was using it to try and push Inferno off of the lane, try and get some more tower damage as much as possible. With that siege creep as well, he will be able to do so. And the tower is down to pretty much half HP now. So the siege creep will get one more shot in before it dies. Inferno's going to go ahead and regen in base, but once again, Goshawk is going to pop the jump charges. He wants to finish the game now. The creeps also are going to have extra attack speed coming out now. He's going to try and finish the game as soon as possible. Lion has to get himself a TP and get straight back out there. Use that Necro book, but it might be a little too late now as the tower is it's on 274 HP. Inferno will be able to defend it just this one more time, but I don't think he can withstand much more push coming out from Goshawk. He's going to get himself an invis rune, and this could be big. Pop the invis rune, pop one bottle charge, wait 30 seconds apparently, and you will have the damage to get off Inferno. He's got to wait for the Reaper Scythe though. And Goshawk not going to walk into him. Inferno's got to be careful, he knows he's missing a cake, so Goshawk does show himself in the middle lane. Now Inferno, he's trying to take it a bit later, he wants to get more levels in that Necro book, but it's really not working out for him. And now Goshawk, he's got level 2 up in that Heartstopper already. Inferno, he's losing more and more HP per second now. 0.9% of his HP drained every second whenever he's in experience range, and he doesn't have the regen to sit through it, even with the Necro book. So 40 last hits ahead is Goshawk now. If we have a quick look at the net worth again, it's nearly 3,000 difference. In fact, it is 3,000 difference going away of Goshawk. Inferno starting to struggle in this matchup. As I already said, this is one that Lion has to take early, because at the moment Goshawk, what's he going to purchase up? He's got himself a point booster, so going towards the Aghanim Scepter himself, and now he's got 1680 health and 1000 mana. There is absolutely no way that Inferno can bring him down. Level 2 Finger's going to do 725 damage at the moment. And even the mana drain's not going to be that effective anymore either. So Goshawk, he just needs to basically storm down the middle lane and he will take this game home. Spike on a miss coming out from Inferno, using it to slow the creep wave up a little bit more. And then Goshawk's just going to Death Pulse on the wave. Keep his own creeps healed up. In fact, mana drain cancelled there by Inferno as well. Another Hex coming out from Inferno. It's got some nice duration on that one now. Level 3, so 3.25, but his abilities get even more expensive. Another Spike coming out from Inferno. He does not want to lose his tower. And Goshawk could potentially stand there and tank the tower and bring it down there with how tanky he is. Using that Death Force speed. Doesn't want to get fingered by Inferno. In fact, Inferno going to throw the Hex. Spike probably going to follow. Not going to do so. Just going to back off slightly more. Needing on that level 2 Necro book. He's about 100 gold away from that one. But now Goshawk, he's only 1000 gold away from having that Aghanim Scepter. If he chooses to build that is. But now he's going to heal up his own creep wave. And this could be the push that he's looking for. Tower's going to start getting smacked. Inferno, it's do or die now for you, son. It's do or die. You've got to put your aggression on. There go the Necro units. And they're going to start chasing. But this siege creep is going to finish the game. 6 HP left on the siege creep. But it's the Terror, and he's going to survive. If Inferno denies the Terror, he will lose the game. One more right click. It's all that Goshawk needs to finish this one off. And it's definitely do or die for Inferno now. In fact, he will deny it. That's going to be GG. Caught out by Inferno. He couldn't win the battle of attrition. And Goshawk will advance through to the next round. And Goshawk actually going to try and kill Inferno off, even though he's dismissed from the game. And that will be his death. So finally getting the kill is Goshawk there.
Somebody actually died.
Somebody actually died.
Blood.
So Goshawk will go through to the next round of the King of the Mid tournament. He will face up against the winner of the previous game, which is Enk. And those games will be signed tomorrow at 7 PM, guys. So don't forget to check me out on Twitter. It's at rabbit_UK Dota. You can keep track of when my stream's going live. Remember, tomorrow at 7 PM, we will have the next round of games coming up. Still best of ones. So we're down to 16 players now. I'll see you all at 7 tomorrow.